Hanson. Riveting. Okay, Ken, so we go to Masada, and there's some kind of a large rock or something. I'll let you pick it up from there.
It's being excavated in the 1960s by the great Israeli archaeologist Yigael Yadin, and he's got a team up there. They have uncovered an ancient synagogue, one of the oldest synagogues in the world. It's right next to the retaining wall on the outside of the rocky precipice. This place was impregnable. It took the Romans 7 months to build an earthen ramp all the way up the side of the cliff, which they did using Jewish slaves, by the way, from the Great Revolt of the first century. They got to the very top with their battering ram and knocked down the walls, but part of that wall still stands. And as Yadin was excavating the rubble of the wall, he came upon the remains of parchment fragment, ancient parchment, the same type of vellum material we were talking about.
Like the Dead Sea Scrolls.
It was a fragment of a Dead Sea Scroll, which was astonishing because these scrolls were found way up the shore of the Dead Sea. It must be 30 miles up the shore of the Dead Sea. Is a place called Qumran, where the bulk of this material was found. What is a mangled fragment, half disintegrated, down at Masada? Why, Masada was supposed to have been inhabited by a group of anti-Roman zealots, and the folks who lived up at Qumran, where the scrolls were written, were supposed to be, according to the dominant theory, Essenes.
The Essenes,
who were peace-loving kind of monastic order. Here we've got a fragment of one of their Dead Sea Scrolls, and we know it was one of theirs because an identical fragment was found in the ruins of Qumran, further north along the Dead Sea. And not only is it a Dead Sea Scroll, but it is a non-biblical scroll, one of those that never made it into our Bibles. And it's mystical as well. It's called the Songs of Sabbath Sacrifice.
What does it tell us?
And it describes in detail a procession of non-terrestrial beings, let's call them angels, who are going up, ascending from the earthly temple into the heavenly temple. The idea was that everything down here is a copy of something out there in the eternal realm. And this text reads about them soaring aloft, and this murmur of their voices is heard, and they're lifting their wings, accompanied by this clamor and a murmur of angels. It calls them blessing the chariot-like throne above the firmament of the cherubim. Now, I have the original Hebrew here in front of me, and this term that gets translated in English as chariot-like throne is the word in Hebrew merkavah, which is a very loaded word. Merkavah we translate as chariot, but it's a whole stream of ancient Jewish mysticism, and it relates to the concept of God or the divine sitting on top of some mobile object. Literally, the root means to ride upon. God is elsewhere described as riding upon the clouds. Jeez. Merkavah is a chariot, and the same term seems to be described in the book of Ezekiel when the heavens are open. And a lot of people, of course, talk about the book of Ezekiel in terms of non-terrestrial encounters. Well, we've got that exact term now, even developed more than we find in Ezekiel, as these beings are ascending. Cherubim, they're called in the Hebrew, while they themselves from below the place where the glory dwells go acclaiming in joyous song the splendor of the radiant expanse. And wherever the wheels of the chariot are in motion, the angels of sanctification dart to and fro all around it, between its glorious wheels. It says they're like fiery apparitions, most holy spirits looking like streams of fire in the likeness of burnished metal or of lustrous ware. This is astounding stuff.
Oh, it really is. I mean,